Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, dear middle one students. Today we are going to start unit 2 and it's titled with energy. We are going to discuss the resources and forms of energy. Uh, Lesson 1 called energy resources and forms. Before we are talking about energy, we are going to start talking about the work. The first question to discuss why we do or do we provide the car with the fuel. The answer is very simple. Why we do provide the car with the fuel? We are providing car with fuel because the combustion of fuel gives the car energy. It means enables the car to move. It means to do work, to do work, move to do work. For the same reason, why do we eat food? We eat food because the combustion of food in our body gives us energy also to do work. This energy makes us to carry activities, means to do work. What is the work? Work is a force that acts on a body to move for a distance or to make a displacement for the body in the same direction of force. If we do push any table, for example, we do a force on the table. The force acts on the table to move it for a distance or to make a displacement. لو في displacement means a force acted and make action for this table. Okay, type. Now we can say that we do work. طب what if we have or we did a force to push something and this something didn't go or move for a distance. خلاص يبقى we cannot describe this as a work. Example, when a person affected on a wall by force, he cannot do work. ليه? Because the displacement here is zero. So if there is no displacement, there is no work even that we do some force or act with some force on this object. ليه؟ لأن الwork simply equal force times displacement. So if there is no displacement بزيرو, it means that the work is zero. Even if we do or act by a force on an object. يبقى لو الجول اللي هي اليونت بتاعة الwork equal newtons اللي هي الforces unit and displacement unit is meter. So Newton dot meter equal joule. طب تعالوا نشوف الانرجي بقى. الانرجي it's the ability to do work. We cannot do work without an energy. Or to make it change, we can change in the shape of something. مثلا we have a can, Pepsi can مثلا أو حاجة, we can do press it to change the shape of it. It means that we did the work because we have energy. لو كانش عندنا energy ما كناش عملنا الwork to make the change of on the object. Now let us discuss the energy resources. We have in our syllabus means six forms or six resources of energy. Number one, the sun, which we called it the permanent resource. It will never stop and it didn't stop before. Number two, the wind. We can use the wind to lift the groundwater underground or also to generate electricity in some places. Number three, the waterfalls we are using here in the high dam. You know, the high dam in Aswan, with the water comes with a very high speed to move or to go on a turbines, and these turbines can generate electricity for Egypt. Number four, the fuel inside the car. And number six, here also the food inside our body. We discussed it before. It's a chemical reaction, gives us energy. Nuclear reactions come from the nuclear reactors, makes us gain nuclear energy, which is very important in its peaceful way. And we can do eat work, food, and this food combusted in our body to give us energy. Now, let's discuss the energy forms. We are going to start with the sound energy. Produced from what? Sound energy. We can get sound energy from the loudspeakers. We can notice this in our school lines, morning, in the morning, saluting, and the national anthem comes from these loudspeakers. Also, the musical instrument like guitar or something. Okay. Number two, light energy produced from electric lamp like this kerosene lamp, which we use it in the old ages, by the way. We never use it like these days, maybe a little. Number three, electric energy produced from, we discussed it before, wind generator, and also something we used to use it recently. It's called the solar cell. The solar cell in above some buildings in our homes, we can use it to generate electricity also. Chemical energy, we discussed it before in our food and in fuel of the car or a battery. This chemical energy changed into another forms of energy. Okay. Heat energy produced from heater and oven to cook food. Number five, nuclear energy. In its peaceful way, we are using it in the nuclear reactor to generate electricity. تستعملها generate electricity. لكن النيوكلير energy can use in making nuclear weapons للأسف يعني. Mechanical energy stored in two things, water force, and we discussed it before. The mechanical energy, we use it from the falls to generate the electricity, and now the stored in stretchings because it used to move ups and down like this according to the mechanical energy stored in it. Now let's have some questions to discuss. Question one, food and fuel are sources of, food and fuel are sources of energy. Which kind of energy? Is it mechanical, chemical, electric and sound? The answer is chemical energy because the combustion of them gives us another forms of energy or makes us do activity. And for the car, it makes the car to move. And that is an example of the source of electric energy, the source of electric energy. Electric fan uses electric energy to change to be kinetic energy or mechanical. Oil lamp, it uses also electric energy. Oven, it uses the electric energy, but the solar cell generates, or it's a source of electric energy, being the solar cell is the answer. Number two, complete. The most important or permanent source of energy. We knew it before, and we'll always knew that the most important source of energy is the sun. Number two, electric lamp produces two types of energy or two kinds of energy. It uses the electricity first to change into two forms. What? It's lightning. And when you are touching the lamp, you'll feel hot because it's light and it generates heat energy. Another two questions give reason. Fuel in the car as a food for the man. طبعا كلنا عرفنا الإجابة. Combustion of fuel in the car enable the car to move, and the combustion of our food in the man enable him to do vital activities. It means to have energy. When person affect on a wall by force, he cannot do work. طبعا كلنا عرفنا ليه because the displacement is zero واحنا عارفين work equal force time displacement. وبعد كده نقدر نقول بمنتهى السهولة ان displacement equal zero means the work equal zero. Well, that was a short notice about the work and the energy. I hope that you understand what we explained today, and we are going to continue with this lesson later, inshallah. Thank you, and see you next time. Wassalamu alaikum.